the good thing and the bad thing, being the last speaker in a session of 4 very distinguished presidents of the university, is that they have said all that I want to say. Well, I'm not sure it's good or bad. Probably to me it's good, okay, and to you it's good too, okay. Okay, well, first I would like to thank the organizer, okay, for inviting me to give me this opportunity to talk to you. And I follow the tradition of Rocky. I will speak in English, okay, so it's a balance, 3 Putonghua to 2 English. But I will not pepper, my talk with some Putonghua. As I said, all that actually I want to really say in my part has been said, okay, in one way or another. But let me go through this with you. You may be curious why this is picture of a young boy there. I'll explain that. I picked the title, How to Nurture Future Innovative Leaders for the Greater Bay Area. But then I would not talk much about Greater Bay Area. You will not see a map of GBA there, okay, and I'll tell you why later. Now, Nino talked about, education most important. Yes, we are university, we are part of the education system, and we talk a lot about education. As Nino said, there's a lot of presidents really care about education, okay? Look, I'm using Hong Kong as an example. A young boy, young girl, go to secondary school at age 12, go to university at age 18, everything goes well, he or she graduates in age 22. And assuming Hong Kong do not follow the example of France, don't give John the wrong idea, I'm talking about John Lee, okay? Raising the retirement age, then he or she retire in 60. So, well, the first few years he or she didn't really study, but a good part, 1/3 of his life was spent in school. And what are we preparing our young people for? Clearly for the future, okay? And so it begs the question, what we in the university see the future is. Now, a lot of you have seen, remember, or I have talked a lot about this one. It's a very old study. 10 years is a long time, okay, in modern days, okay. In 2013, all right, Oxford University came out with a study, and you can just Google it now if you like, okay. It's a paper, and then being called a lot, after publishing it for a few years. At that time, the word AI, big data, AlphaGo is not popular yet, so they used the word automation. It said 47% of the jobs in US will be at risk. Basically, will be replaced by automation and the rise of digital economy in the next 25 years. That was said 10 years ago, all right? So, and then it actually, they are advice, okay, on how, we prepare for what type of job is the most high risk. I think when the first 3 years it came out, you go to the web, you can actually find out the top 100 job that is most at risk replaced by automation at that time. And why is that? That's because of big data, AI, automation, and all these so-called disruptive technology. Now, I hope you can read them, okay? Top on the list that generate, the economic impact at that time, I think this is 2018 or something, is site, mobile, internet, automation of knowledge network, and Internet of Things, and so on. These are the things that actually project to really impact, our economy in 2025. Now, what is really the impact of technologies to us, okay? People like to talk about, the 4 industrial revolution, but let's just look at 3 of them, okay? The very first one that really changed the world, that's the industrial revolution. Basically, it's animal power replaced by steam power, later on electric power. I think, I don't have the number, okay? Before the Industrial Revolution, I suppose more than 90% of the world population are engaged in farming. You farm or you raise animals. That's how you live, right? And so when the steam automobile, steam engine comes in, a lot of farmers lost their jobs. So if you say, I need to start to do farming, If you have a school educating farmers, then they came out without any jobs, okay? And that's what I mean by the impact of technology. It is really disruptive. Now, the next one, this is something I'm related, the information revolution. Depending how you count, when the chips come out, or you start counting when the first laptop came out, okay? And that's when the ICT, okay, information and communication technology really come into play, okay? The world changed. The world changed a lot, okay? We use smartphones, okay? I still remember, for those who know me, I work in optical fiber communication. I still remember about 10, 15 years ago, they are in this big conference, you know, the talks, you know, they would talk about that, oh, in a few years, long-distance call will be free. And I still remember that time I was sitting down there, a young scientist, said, oh, come on, give me a break, okay? This is how big, you know, telecom company make their money, charging outrageous price for overseas calls. Well, I think every day since then you use your, or at least I do, I talk to my son in UK using WhatsApp call, right? And that's, well, basically free. You pay every data and that's it. And then the big telecom got their revenue from, okay, the data. So, and I can go on to give example, personal examples about how the rise of the Microsoft Office package, you know, changed the world, and you all know that. Now, the key point is that we are in the middle of so-called AI revolution, right? Big data and so on. I'll tell you what it means. Okay. This is a very rough estimate of the share of the global economy, okay? The solid red line, okay, is our country, China, okay? We missed out the Industrial Revolution, therefore our share of the GDP of the world dropped gradually and hit really rock bottom around 50s and 60s, and then slowly rise up. And then the blue line on the top, okay, that's the US. It really benefit a lot from the, you know, Industrial Revolution, rise up, and then some more or less plateau if you believe in numbers, okay? I don't have a chocolate one, okay? So I got to believe this one. That, you know, it depends on how you count it, who's speaking, you know, the share economy of the US and China more or less, you know, are close, I would say. All right, that's how important the technology are to us, okay? So we talk a lot about AI, big data, and how it will affect our job. Remember, we're talking about the future, okay? Not sure you remember this. In 1997, there's a really big event in the AI community. And that's Kasparov, okay? Kasparov is at that time the world champion in chess. When we say chess, it's what we call Western chess, okay? Not the Chinese chess, okay? Deep Blue is a computer program by IBM, and they have a team of scientists working on it and doing all kinds of AI techniques, okay? But at that time, in 1997, Deep Blue, you know, beat, you know, Kasparov. It was a shock because chess is so complicated game that, you know, only human can do. And that's not true anymore, of course. And at that time, the prediction that, you know, Go, the game that Chinese invent, because it's very simple. The rules are very simple, okay? 19 by 19 square and so on. And they said it will take 30 years before, you know, AI have a chance to beat, you know, human. And then 6 years ago, 2017, there's AlphaGo with the world champion at the time, Orchid, okay? And it was a shock when you know, human lost the machines, okay, and lost really badly. And you think that's bad, I'll tell you how bad it is, okay? Now, President Chen Shiji talked about GPT. I'll give a little more in a minute. But I just want to tell you how, if you really think about it, just when AlphaGo came out, this is a shock already. But AlphaGo learned from history. They learned from how the record of how humans play in the last 20 years, okay, and then they beat all the human. Then came AlphaGo Zero. It didn't really come out a lot in the press because it's machine against machine. AlphaGo Zero is that they do not learn from human. Usually, the jargon in the field is that AlphaGo is used so-called supervised learning. Somebody teach They're using what we did in human, you teach a program to do it. AlphaGo Zero is that you just give him the rules, unsupervised learn. No, you tell him how to win, that's it, and let it do it itself, okay? So this is a chart, okay? And you can see that, when it takes about 20 days, okay, 21 days, that AlphaGo Zero learning on its own beat AlphaGo, the one who beat the human. So by inference, okay, it became a master, okay. And then, I think I got it wrong, okay. By the 21 days, it beat the human master. And at 40 days, it beat all versions of AlphaGo. Nobody teach the machine. They learn it, okay. Isn't it scary? All right, everybody talk about GPT, right? And I call myself a techie, so I play with it. How I play with it, my son is not 6 years old. I don't give my kid to do it. And so I say, why don't you give a talk for me? So I give, if you look at the top, how to nurture future innovative leaders for the GBA. This is a topic I give to ChatGPT and ask it to do a PowerPoint for me. And very nice, and I don't really do PowerPoint, but I can give you some tips, right? So for interest of time, I wouldn't go through it. I would just want to point to you. First, there's nice layout, all the nice slides, okay? First, the usual thing, you start with, the title, you give an introduction to the topic, the objective of the presentation. On the left side, on my right, your left, okay? Then you be over what GBA is. He had no idea what GBA is, okay? I'm sorry, he found out. I didn't tell him GBA means Greater Bay Area. They found out that I didn't type in strings. This is come from ChatGPT, okay? So give a slide to, the title is Understanding Greater Bay Area, then give an overview, give a map, of course, and then tell how important it is in global economy, demographic, make a lot of sense, right? Then you go down, okay? Characteristic of innovative leaders, okay? Challenge of nurturing new ideas. It hit all the buzzwords. 5 important higher education nurturing innovative. Hey, our presidents earlier talked all about it. It's all here, all right? Case studies of successful higher education programs in their own innovative ideas. So we have, Southern Tech, we have, Auburn Daishe, we have, Chinese Shu. Hey, it tells you about these things. And, well, I'm really dumb, right? So I said, oh, this is more, and then tells you how to round it up in conclusion. I say, wow, like slide 8, developing an innovative mindset. How? I don't know how to talk about it. So I asked ChatGPT, can you provide more details on slide 8 about developing an innovative mindset? The top one is my question. Then sure, I'll give you more. And then start to talk about importance of developing a new mindset, then the details. It makes a hell of sense to me, and it scared me, totally, all right? When we are talking about education, teaching our young kids, remember, there's a book 20, 30 years ago, I need to learn in school, I learned in kindergartens, okay? Are we still teaching anything to our kids that's useful for them in 5 years? Think about it. Okay, well, there's more. All kind of examples, the MIT Media Lab. Remember, I didn't tell it to it. USD is here. I have nothing to do with USD, okay? Except I know the people there well. I know Nino and Nancy, okay? I didn't dig it up, okay? Probably you know my location, okay? And then the Stanford there. All right. You all know this, right? ChatGPT passed Google coding interview for level 3 engineering test. And the salary in the US is $183K. Not bad. Why are we still educating computer programmers then? Okay? Hey, on the right, Tsinghua, okay, the professor gives the final year exam to ChatGPT. He got 75 points. Now, there are more of these examples. You all know that, okay? All right. I'm almost run out of time. So, go back to this slide. Oxford University said 40% of the job at the US will be at risk in 25 years. It's only 10 years from that prediction. I think the future is here. So to me, I think we need to think about not just just in the Greater Bay Area. We need to rethink all how education should be like. Or you may say, oh, no, art creation, that's okay, you know, that should be safe, right? This picture that I use in the top is generated by not ChatGPT now, it's by a program app called Midjourney. The keyword being used is innovation, young adult, rapid change, technology, art, embrace future, hope, smile. That's what we got. I have no drop of artistic blood in me, but that looks okay to me, all right? So you think about it. Professor Chen, you know, Chen Shi used this picture, okay? Well, not the full one. These are, if you do not recognize the guy on the right top, that's Sam Altman, okay? That's the OpenAI one, that's supposed the father of ChatGPT. And then Elon Musk, okay, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. What are they in common? Including Elon Musk, they quit school. Elon Musk quit, you know, physics, program in physics in 2 days, graduate program, okay? Now, I'm Steve is a little bit different, okay? You know his story, okay? The adopted parents don't have enough money, so he dropped. And then the other two, okay? They dropped out of school. That 2 years, think that school is no use to them. And they were famous school, Harvard and Stanford. Again, think about that. Okay, so back to the question that I asked in the very beginning. How are we supposed to educate for the future? Okay? Then this is not ChatGPT, this is my view. I had to declare that now. I had to declare that, okay? Because my job, I did and I do give you some thought about, you know, education. What we are doing now in school, secondary, university, it's reminiscent of the Industrial Revolution, mass production. Fixed, you know, a very limited choice, some choices in the curriculum, but principally fixed. We are educating for a profession. Accountants, lawyers, engineers, okay? We are using knowledge. Knowledge that now AI program can grasp in a minute. You remember Google Translate 3 years ago? People laugh at it, right? You give a sentence, they give you some silly, you know, translation, and we'll have a good laugh. Now, a lot of people are actually using Google Translate. You think it's scary ChatGPT is now? Think about what the equivalent, whatever it is, ChatGPT in 5 years. That's why I give you an example about how AlphaGo, Zero, and AlphaGo. Well, I'm not the type to think about that the AI will take over human. I don't know about that. But education is something that we really need to think about. How we nurture the innovative mind in the future. How are we going to even do education in the future? The knee-jerk reaction, you know, from many educators, oh, we don't allow them to use it. I have a colleague, okay, in my university said it very well. The things we do not allow our students to do, we do it every day ourselves. We don't allow them to use Google. We don't allow them to discuss with classmates and so on. I Google every day. I ask questions to my VPs every day, right? So you don't allow them to just ChatGPT because the professor cannot, you know, ask something deeper, or we don't know how to educate them. So we don't allow them to use the tool. But then when they go out, they'll use it every day, right? So mass lecture, professor-centric knowledge delivery, professor educate the way that we are educated. You want change, you know what the promise of change is us. I learn my knowledge this way. Why don't you? That's the attitude of most professors. Well, at least this professor, okay? So I don't know about the future, but my guess will be, again, this is from me, okay? Instead of mass production, mass customization, every human is different, right? We believe in that, okay? So why are we forcing all the kids to do a certain thing in a certain way? Otherwise, they fail, okay? Transdisciplinary. When I use the word trans, I don't mean inter. I mean transform. Because the discipline we have now probably disappear in a few years, okay? Again, do we need them an accountant? Do we need them a translator? Do we need any designer? What is design anyway? Okay, we keep talking about design. Well, actually, ChatGPT talk about design mind. Okay, so I think Professor Chen talked about mindset versus skill based. Okay, and cater the outliers, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, you know, the Sam Altman. Why they drop out of school? Because school do not fit them. The school that we have now do not fit them. This is the outlier. It's the outlier that going to change the world. And we are not educating outlier. Think about it. Okay, well, people talk about their own university, right? So I need to do a little bit. So we do recognize this problem. Just starting the current triennium, okay, we have new programs, feed the art tech, the global entertainment, that we try to do transdisciplinary, bringing different disciplines together and will evolve. But what we are really having fun is the last one, individualized major. If I may, the first three are still set courses, set dinner, but maybe fusion, you know, mixing things together. The last one is a la carte. Let the undergrad decide their curriculum. Okay, it's a very small program, but we are having fun. Okay, so this is the second last slide, okay. So again, go back to the question, how education will be like. My guess, individualized curriculum, AI assisted, that means human and AI work together to teach. Or why can't AI teach directly? How many variations can you have when you teach, you know, addition to primary school students? Why can't they learn it, okay, with the machine? Why do they have to have a human to teach them, okay? And these are jargon I learned from the engineers. So just-in-time fit-for-purpose learning. Why you stuck them in school for 20 years? Why can't they go to work earlier and learn along the way when they need it? So last slide. The change here, resistance is futile. Now let me ask here. Let me have fun here. How many of you get the joke of the last one? Resistance is futile. Ah, this is a techie here, right? Trekkie, sorry. This is from Star Trek, okay? A generation of superhuman called Borg, B-O-R-G. And they like to use is that resistance is futile. The world is changing. It's changing so fast. And educators, I'm sorry to say this, I have seen too many of them. In university, we preach about change. But many professors are the last one that want to change. Thank you very much.